Examples of the painting featuring a Good Samaritan with a victim exhibiting a head trauma, dangerous sign of the possible future neurological illness. In the previously produced presentation, 2 paintings by Aime Morot were analyzed to show that Aime Morot knew that Jesus was the victim who was described anonymously in the parable of the Good Samaritan from the Gospel of Luke. The idea goes back to the Andrea del Verrocchio / Leonardo da Vinci project, 1472 to 1498, about the beginnings of Christianity. Following is the list of paintings with similar visual clues. One needs to keep in mind that depiction of the victim exhibiting the signs of the head trauma on the painting related to the parable of the Good Samaritan could be a coincidence, result of artistic vision by the painter without any backstory whatsoever, or it can be the result of following tradition, the tradition that could have possibly include both kind of paintings, those made with the knowledge of the significance of the head trauma suffered by the victim, who, as figured by Leonardo, was a Jesus himself, and those that just follow the visuals of existing paintings without the knowledge. It is above and beyond the format of this presentation to sort it out in one swoop. Each identified painting would have to be analyzed separately. The parable of the Good Samaritan 25. And behold, a lawyer stood up to put him to the test, saying, Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? 26. He said to him, What is written in the law? How do you read it? 27. And he answered, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. 28. And he said to him, You have answered correctly, do this, and you will live. 29. But he, desiring to justify himself, said to Jesus, And who is my neighbor? 30. Jesus replied, A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among robbers, who stripped him and beat him and departed, leaving him half dead. 31. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him he passed by on the other side. 32. So likewise a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. 33. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. 34. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he set him on his own animal and brought him to an inn and took care of him. 35. And the next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, I will repay you when I come back. 36. Which of these 3, do you think, proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers? 37. He said, The one who showed him mercy. And Jesus said to him, You go, and do likewise. Jacopo Bassano, Jacopo dal Ponte, 1510 to 1592. Jacopo Bassano was in the know about the Verrocchio / Da Vinci project. He produced other paintings for the project. Victim has head trauma and some additional leg bandage. Painting, Adoration of the Kings, below, is positively connected to the project in the separate presentation. 2 dogs in the framework of the project usually signify the Gospel of John, and 2 authors of that Gospel. Could be a tribute to the fact that the Gospel of John excluded the parable of the Good Samaritan. Slides following after this one will not be accompanied by sound. Most descriptions are very short. This list of paintings is representative but far from exhaustive. Hopefully, at some point their history will be studied and comprehended.